Hello, coming to you from Vermont, where there's at least 12 inches of snow. My name is Karen, Salt and Sand Studios. We're in central Vermont, and I welcome you to this practice today. We're going to focus on a fluid bliss, so equal parts movement and blissfulness, sort of like putting together more of an active flow and spa yoga, if you've ever taken spa yoga. You might notice a new configuration. We have eliminated our yoga condos, our yoga pods from the studio. So things are a little bit opened up. And that's what we're going to do today too. We're going to open up. All right, find your comfortable seat, maybe on a cushion or a blanket or a block. And settle in. Notice the breath. Notice that wherever you are, mentally, physically, is where you are meant to be. Emotionally. Take a big breath in through your nose. Let it go out your mouth. Again, in through the nose. And release. Big, 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 big breath in. Drop your chin to your chest. Let the head hang. Slowly draw the right ear to the right shoulder. Drop your chin. Slowly draw the left ear to the left shoulder. It's a little tighter. Drop your chin. Chin comes parallel to the earth. Shrug the shoulders up to the ears. Breathe in. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Press the shoulders behind you. Release them. Let's take that 2 more times. Notice the length of your spine. Maybe there's a little bit of a feeling of a string attached to the heart and to a star far above you. And you are reaching that heart to the star like you are gathering and simultaneously drawing in energy. Drop your hands by your sides. Sweep them out and up overhead. Hands to your heart. Hands drop by your side, sweep them out and up. Hands to your heart. And once more. Consider here an intention or a motivation for your practice. It might be something super simple. It might be about finding joy. Maybe it is about blissfulness. Maybe it's about something else. We'll celebrate that and surround ourselves like we could create a foundation for our practice with those positive intentions or dedications or motivations. We'll do that with a chant of Om. It doesn't mean you have to join in. You could do it quietly. But if you would like to join in, please come along. We'll cleanse our breath once again. Now breathe in as fully as you can. Interlace the fingers. Press the palms in front of you so the palms are outward. Round your spine. Really push. Drop your head. As you inhale, begin to arch from the middle of the back all the way up. Hands overhead. Keeping the palms facing the sky if you can. If you can't, that's what the body's doing today. We're going to exhale and tilt over to one side. Doesn't matter which one. Make sure whichever sitting bone just raised a little from the earth that you press it back down. Maybe that means coming a little out of the tilt. Inhale upright. Exhale, tilt the other way. Inhale upright. We're going to take a twist. Left hand outside the right thigh. We take a twist behind us. Building length on the breath in And rinsing out on the exhale. Check if you need to loosen the calves or the feet or the knees. Inhale, come through to center. Exhale, twist to the other side. I'm going to make our way into a child's pose. I'll meet you there. Knees nice and wide, big toes touch, facing the mat. Not, I guess your toes are facing the mat, but your face is also facing the mat. Sitting bones, draw toward the heels. We're nice and long in the arms, breathing in and out. We notice the space the breath creates in the spine and across the low back. Wherever your mind and body and heart are, is where they are meant to be in this moment. Breathe in, let it go. Let's take another side body stretch, drawing onto your fingertips so your wrists and forearms come off the mat. Breathe in. As you exhale, hands walk over to one side, doesn't matter which side, and the head drops again. We're pressing the sitting bone all the way to the heel. Inhale, walk your way through center. As you breathe out, walk to the opposite side with your hands. Inhale, draw through the center and come into your tabletop. Find a nice neutral spine. Hips are right underneath your, knees are right under your hips. Hips are under the sky. Wrists are under the shoulders. Some cat-cows or any other movement here. Being careful to find what works for you. Maybe some hip circles or hula hoop movement. Just starting to warm up the spine a little bit here. And return to a neutral spine. We're going to take a cross crawl movement here. We're going to reach the one arm in front. I'm taking my left, and then the opposite leg behind. We draw the belly in, nose points toward the ground, and we stay here, pressing the shoelace side of the foot that is on the ground deeply into the mat, and pressing the fingertips and the heel of the hand that's on the mat into the mat. And we breathe here. On your next exhale, draw your elbow and your knee together. Pause. Inhale, stretch out. Draw the hand to the mat, and then the knee bends to draw above the elbow on the same side. Inhale, extend. Now we're going to sweep the extended leg over the calf of the other leg. For me, it's my right leg, so I'm bringing the shoelace side of the right foot to the earth and gliding my right hip backward, coming to my forearms. Press the floor away with your forearms and your hands. Simultaneously draw the mat toward you. If you like a little bit more of a stretch in your glutes, you can tuck the toes of the longer leg underneath and lift the knee off the mat. You might rock forward and backward. We're going to draw back to a three-legged tabletop and then bring that knee to the mat. Shift around, wag your tail, whatever makes sense for you here, and then find stillness again. I'm going to take all that to the other side. Opposite arm, for me, that's my right. And left leg, opposite leg. Reach back with the heel, reach forward with the fingertips, draw the belly in, square your hips. Activate the glutes of the leg that is kneeling. Excellent balance exercise. Knee and elbow on the exhale, draw together. Pause for a full round of breath here. Inhale, stretch it all out. And the hand returns to the mat. Lifted leg sweeps above the other calf. And we find our glute stretch on this side. Rise back up, three-legged table. Knee comes above the elbow on the same side. Inhale, extend. Knee returns to the mat, a wiggle waggle. Hands walk forward a couple of inches, tuck the toes under. Actually, let's untuck the toes. Bring your hands back. We're going to do one other core exercise before we move into downward dog. We're going to take a breath out. Press into the ground with the tops of the feet and the hands. Draw the belly in and up toward the moon and lift the knees a little off the mat. We're rounding into the shoulders a tiny bit. Belly is super strong. Breathe here for 3, 2, and 1. Knees down, a cow shape, a cat shape, a neutral spine. Take that again. Belly's got to work nice and hard. Press the floor away. Breathe out. Knees lift. Knees down. A cow shape. A cat shape. One final time. Draw that belly in and up. Press the tailbone downward. Float the knees. Down to the earth, cow shape, and cat shape. Neutral spine. Now the hands walk forward just a couple of inches, the toes tuck under, and really slowly, as you press the pelvis forward toward your heart, you're going to lift your hips into downward dog. Maybe pedaling out feels good. A lift onto the tiptoes, a bend of the knees, and a walk or a hop or a skip to the front of your mat to find a forward fold. You might like a ragdoll here or some other bind. Ooh, some nice pippa popping of my spine. Head is heavy, hands release, halfway lift. You might crouch a little bit for that. Forward fold. Press into standing. Spread the toes, arms reach overhead. Hands to your heart. Mountain pose. Hands sweep out and up. Hips fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Rise to standing, rooting to rise, fingertips like you could tickle the clouds. Cactus shape arms. Squeeze the shoulder blades, lift from the heart, fortify the thighs. Arms lift up, and we take a fold again. Halfway lift. Forward fold, we step back to a high plank. We pause in our high plank. Building power, building strength, lift the right leg, stay in your plank. Keep the right leg lifted, go to downward dog. Press, breathe out. Breathe in, knee to nose. Breathe in, lift. Come forward to plank with the right leg lifted. Drop the right foot, lift the left leg. Breathe in. Breathe out, downward dog, belly strong. Breathe in, knee to nose. Breathe in, extend. Keep the foot lifted, high plank. Foot drops, knees down. Come all the way down to the mat. Nose, chin, chest if you can. We're going to take just a teeny cobra. You might bring space between your feet if you have low back issues. But everyone's going to press the bony hips to the earth and lift the navel away. And on an inhale, press the floor away, shoulders together, heart and head lift. Breathe. All the way down to the mat, hands by your sides. Turn your head one direction. I guess you can't turn your head in both directions simultaneously. Let the shoulders drop to the mat. Stretching out the neck, the upper arms, the palms face down. Turn your head the other way. Forehead on the mat, hands under your shoulders. Baby cobra or a deeper cobra, your choice. Down to the mat. Breathe in. Breathe out. Draw the belly in. One more cobra. Or an up dog if it suits you. All the way down to the mat. Breathe in. Breathe out, downward dog, maybe through a table or a high plank. Make your way back to the front of your mat. Chair pose, Utkatasana. I love that name, Utkatasana. Rise up to standing. Chair pose again. Lift onto the balls of your feet. Drop your bottom. Stay low. Bring your heels down. Twist, left arm forward, right arm behind. Stay in your chair if you can. If the body resists, maybe you breathe into it, or maybe you come out of chair. Reach, reach, reach. Inhale, arms forward. Exhale, twist. Inhale, arms forward. Exhale, sink deeper. Inhale, lift to standing. Exhale, forward fold. Half lift. And a forward fold. Pressing energy into the right foot. See if you can lift the left leg off the mat. Lift, lift, lift. Step as far back as you can for a runner's lunge. Left hand down, right arm floats. Hands down, hands down. Parsvottanasana. You're going to hop that back foot halfway up the mat. Take your right thumb, place it in your right hip crease, and see if you can use your fingers and thumb to spin the right thigh outward, pressing that hip back. Drop your head. Back leg should be powerful. Front leg might have a bend. Pyramid pose. Rise up, standing pyramid. That's a hard balance. Arms lift overhead. Face your torso toward your right knee and hinge at your hips once again. See if you can find a flat back as far down as you can go. You might need to rebend the front knee. You might need a block. Bring your hands forward, lift the left leg off the mat again. We're going to move into a warrior two. Step as far back as you can with the left foot. Bend your right knee. Find whatever movement brings you into warrior two with a 90-degree angle on that right knee bend. Shrug the shoulders up, breathe in. Release them, breathe out. Pelvis tilts forward. We're opening up the hips as parallel to the long edge of the mat as possible. Lift the right heel, sink deeper, draw the right heel down. Flip your front palm to reverse your warrior. Warrior two. Reverse. Side angle. Open the heart, body in a single plane. Warrior 2, reverse. Hands windmill down inside your right foot. Come to the ball of the back foot. Drop your left knee and heel toe the right foot out to the right. All the way to the edge of the mat. Point the right toes to the right. Shift your pelvis forward and find a little twist over your right shoulder. Right hand down, right toes point forward. We take a wide-legged forward fold at the front of the mat. Left fingertips drop to the mat under your nose. The left knee bends. On a breath in, we float the right arm high. Working the IT bend on the right leg. Breathe in, lift a part way. Exhale, twist. Twist from the navel, not the shoulders. You might even straighten your left leg if you're not feeling as much of an opening on the outside of that right leg as you might desire. Right fingertips down. This time the right knee bends and the left arm floats. Left hand down. Heel toe the feet toward one another and float your way to standing. Wherever your body is, wherever your mind is, wherever your heart is where they are meant to be. Chair pose, you can bring your hands to your heart. Lift the left knee. Cross the left ankle above the right knee. Sink deeper if you can. If you'd like an arm balance, feel free. Left knee to the heart. Left foot draws down, right knee draws up. Cross the ankle above the left knee, sink down. And fall out of your balance if you're me. Drop the right foot. Lift to standing. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. Breathe out and fold. Step back, high plank. Your choice, knees down or not for your low plank. Find the back bend and meet in downward dog. Rise to the tiptoes, bend your knees, make your way back to the front of your mat. Half lift. Forward fold. Float to standing. And hinge at the hips, fold over your legs. Uttanasana. Ardha Uttanasana, half lift. And a fold. This time the right leg lifts off the mat. Step it as far back as you can. Runner's lunge. Belly energy peeling away from that right thigh. Breathe in. Lift the belly. Lift the shoulders. Lift the heart. Breathe out. Twist. Left arm floats. Left hand down, Parsvottanasana, pyramid pose. Left thumb inside the left hip crease. Spin that left thigh outward. Rise up, standing pyramid. Torso turns over the left knee. Hinge at your hips. See if you can keep a flat back. Press the ball of the left foot into the earth. Maybe rebend your left knee. Maybe you need a prop on this side. Maybe you don't. Hands walk forward a couple inches. Right leg floats from the mat again. Step it as far back as possible. Find your warrior 2. Lift the left heel, sink deeper. Place the left heel on the mat, shrug the shoulders. Tilt the pelvis forward, draw the shoulders down, flip your front palm, reverse. power in that right glute and all along that right leg. Warrior two. Reverse. Side angle. Open up that heart. Warrior two. Reverse it. Windmill the hands inside the left foot, come to the ball of the right. Drop your right knee. Untuck your toes. Moving into our lizard twist on this side. So you want that left foot as far out to the edge of the mat as possible. And then you pivot on the heel to bring the toes at an angle. Twist it, twist it. Pelvis moves forward. We are at our halfway mark, which means we slow back down. Left hand down, tabletop, cats and cows. Neutral spine, hips stay right over the knees, hands walk forward to find Anahatasana, your heart opening pose. Inchworm, puppy dog, maybe kitty cat, not sure. Elbows might bend outward. Hands might stack. You want your head resting on something or your chin or your chest. But the hips are right over the knees, so check that they haven't scooted forward. And consider your definition of bliss. And maybe that definition is a color or a feeling or a scent or a piece of music. And imagine that the space behind your heart is creating a cup that fills with that bliss, whatever your definition. And it overflows that cup. The bliss coming around the heart with a little blissful hug. We're going to move into rabbit pose. So the knees draw together. Sitting bones draw to your heels. Top of the head comes to the mat. And the hands sweep beside you. Maybe you touch your feet or your ankles. Maybe you don't. Loosen the shoulders. Take a nice big breath in. And a full breath out. We're going to take a couple more back bends. So rise up to sitting on your heels. You might scoot forward a little bit on your mat. Come to a seat. Knees can bend. Bring the palms to cup the kneecaps. Lift your heart. Press the big toe mounds into the earth. Open up the collarbones and then slowly round from the bottom of the spine to the top. Drop your chin. Come all the way down to your mat. We're going to work our way into bridge. We didn't do a ton of heart and shoulder opening, but if wheel is part of your practice and you feel open enough, feel free to take that. In the meantime, I will guide into a Pilates style bridge so the feet are not tucked really close to your bottom. They're a few inches away. Palms are on the earth. We press into the feet, tilt the pelvis up, and then use that motion, that upward motion of the pelvis, the backward motion of the feet to shift the hips off the mat. Knees move a little forward. Maybe you scooch the shoulder blades toward one another, getting a little bit more traction with your triceps. Big toe mounds press in. The glutes and the hamstrings activate. The heart lifts, but the chin is tucked a little toward the chest. And here we breathe for 5, 4, squeeze those knees. They're not touching, but it's as if you have a block between them. And 1, come all the way down to the mat. Feet come wide, knees just touch. We don't do any swaying left and right. You might flatten your back a little bit on the earth. We'll take one more back bend. I'll guide through bridge again. Soles of the feet press into the earth, pelvis tilts, lifting the hips, Shoulders scrunchy together. Heart lifts. We activate the upper legs and the glutes. And if you like any variation on a theme here, such as moving one foot to the center in order to lift the other, or cross the ankle over the other knee, your choice. 2 more breaths. Scoot the pelvis up, round the spine, undip all the way to the mat. Feet wide, knees touch, in a gentle rocking motion or windshield wiper motion left and right with your knees. Knees gather in. We give them a really good squeeze, a rock and roll forward and backward to come to your seat. We will extend the left leg on the mat. Plant the right foot inside that leg with at least 1 fist width distance for our twist. Breathing in tall. We exhale for a twist. In and out. Loosening the right shoulder. Returning forward for Janu Shirshasana. The knee of the right leg drops outward and we sit up and face our heart toward our left knee. Left toes draw inward. If you have tight hammies, you might bend the left knee or even place a prop under it. We're going to bring the arms forward and lock them into the shoulders. An inhale. Exhale to shift from the hips as if you're reaching above and beyond. Above and beyond. Go above and beyond your foot. Breathe in. And exhale. Another breath in. And shift. You might drop your hands, you might drop your head, but work toward a long spine rather than trying to round your way to touch the shin or the knee with the head. Rise back up. Lengthen the right leg. We're going to take our twist on the other side. The inhale, remember, lengthens the spine. Heart lifts. The exhale gives us an opportunity to use the space we created to twist, to rinse out toxins from the body. Find yourself front and center, Janu Shirshasana. Hands can drop, head can drop, toes reaching toward your torso. Rise back up. Paschimottanasana, our seated double-legged forward fold. I need to bend my knees a little for this. Toes draw in toward the torso. Arms float. They lock back into the shoulders. Make those collarbones really smile, smile, smile. On a breath out, hinge at your hips forward, reaching above and beyond the feet. Hands drop. Rise back up. We'll take starfish. Soles of the feet draw together. There's a nice big diamond inside the legs. And if you can, tuck the hands underneath your ankles and bring your palms or your fingers to the top of the ankles or to the tops of the feet. We're going to shift the heart forward. Use the elbows to let the knees drop. And then round your spine, drop your head. It's as if the head is a little grain of sand inside an oyster that is your feet. And you're polishing this grain of sand into a pearl. Pearls of wisdom, intuition, consciousness. rise up. We're going to find our way into pigeon. If you prefer for physical reasons or anything else to do that on your back, feel free. So we're going to scoot the right shin so it's as parallel to the front of the mat as possible. Shift onto the right hip, swing the left leg around. If pigeon's really hard for you, you can sit on the right hip and then create this bend in the left knee to find fallen angel. But otherwise, you want that left leg to be straight out of the left hip. And if the right glutes are off the mat, you're going to scoot something underneath them. You might find a little back bend. You might find a quad stretch, your choice. And then we're going to fold. If you're on your back, take your time finding your supine figure 4. And ensure your hips are squared up. Head should rest. Shoulders should relax. Pelvis is moving forward, not pressing downward, but moving forward. One at a time, the hands plant under your shoulders to lift. Scoot any proppage away. And we're going to shift into our stacked logs in honor of the giant snowstorm. So if possible, right shin parallel to the front of your mat, left shin stacked on top. If you need a prop to prop up that left knee, feel free. I'm going to use my block. And we're going to sit nice and tall with the belly in and the shoulders relaxing. The feet activated. We'll breathe here for 5. And we're going to take our pigeon on the other side. Left shin as parallel to the front of the mat as possible. Right leg swings around. We bring it right straight out of the hip. And I need more proppage on this side than I did on the other side. Or as I said, you can take fallen angel or take this on your back. A little back bend for Karen. And we walk the hands forward. A good spot to return to your intention or motivation or dedication. As we unwind our way out of pigeon, returning to a seat. This time, Baddha Konasana, the soles of the feet draw together and the sitting bones shift toward the heels. We sit upright for a moment. And then the hands come outside the thighs or the knees to press the knees up. Feet come apart. We round our spine once again and come all the way to the mat. You're welcome to turn out your lights or something else that might feel right for your atmos. We're going to move into a twist and then into a guided shavasana. Bring the soles of the feet to the mat and the hands, palms to the mat by your sides. Tuck your chin a little bit. Shift your hips 2 inches off the mat and then over to toward the right hand. Drop your knees to the left. And if you like, you can stack or scissor your legs, or you can lengthen the right leg and use the left hand to guide it. The right arm or both arms will flop outward and the head turns over toward the right. And here we breathe. Working to soften the shoulder blades to the mat like they could get Velcroed to the mat. That might not work for you. You might come a little out of the twist if it doesn't. Release from this, drawing the whole length of the spine back to the mat. Even things out, shoulders and hips in the same line. And then once again, pressing the feet into the mat, lift the hips 2 inches away, shift them over to the left this time, drop your knees to the right. If possible, you want the same, roughly the same shape or same components on each side, on both sides. But sometimes the body doesn't cooperate, so you do what works for you. Gaze is moving toward the left, even if the gaze is internal. Unravel from this twist. Bring your hips and your shoulders into line. Happy baby. Knees draw outside your rib cage. And the arms are long inside the legs. Perhaps a little massage of the back as you rock left and right. And make your way into Shavasana. Your Shavasana shape might be Supta Baddha Konasana, you might be seated, you might be lying with your legs long. Wherever you are, if possible, the palms face upward. And if possible, there's some space between the arms and the side bodies and space between the feet. We'll take a big breath in and a full breath out. And we move to effortless breath. The lips are lightly closed. The tip of the tongue is touching the back of the top teeth. And we notice the breath as if it were drawing inward from the top of the head, the crown of the head, like you're drawing the breath from space, from the stars, from all other beings. And you start to feel that breath like the kindest, most temperate trickle of energy from the crown of the head, around the head, to the eyebrows and the back of the head, the eyes and the nose, softness, warm kindness, energy. Ear reaches the ears and the cheekbones, the lips, the neck and jaw, chin, the center of your throat, it rides along the collarbone on the right side, the shoulder, the upper arm, elbow, lower arm, and you start to feel this really beautiful sensation of relaxation, of bliss moving down into the wrist, the hand, and all the digits you have. You notice now this beautiful energy, calmness, all along the left collarbone, spreading to the left shoulder, the tricep and bicep, elbow, the forearm, the hand and digits. Now the sensation of blissfulness all along the shoulder blades and the chest, working its way downward, gaining momentum into the rib cage, front, sides, and back. The pelvis, the belly, Whatever your definition of bliss, color, sound, puppies, babies, smiles, ocean, a little bliss, drawing downward into the hip creases and the glutes, into the thighs, soft, calming, kind in the knees, front and back, inside, outside, the lower legs, the ankles, the feet. There's bliss in your mind, in your heart, in your breath, in your blood. The body's so relaxed, relaxed, relaxed. To aid in opening up to this wonderful energy that surrounds you, we focus on the breath without changing it, without forcing it. We simply observe it. We are a creature where the watched and the watcher can be the same being. So we'll watch our breath, observe our breath, become aware of the breath for 12, 11, The body feels very, very heavy. So heavy, you're sinking into the mat, making a dent in the floor. You feel heavy, heavy, heavy. As you breathe in now, a lightness fills the body, so light that the body is floating away from the mat. You feel light, free, expansive, light. The body floats upward, freed from the trappings of society, up into the sky, past the clouds, into the deep indigo, blue, black of space. A twinkle of a star here and there. Conscious of your spirit, of the body on the mat, of your freedom to choose bliss. Shavasana. Deepen the breath once again as if you're awakening the body. You're conscious now, aware of this beautiful human form on the mat. And as you breathe in, maybe the arms float overhead. You take a nice, big, full body pencil stretch. In. And release. One knee at a time bends. So you can roll onto one side. Doesn't matter which side. And consider here, come back to your intention, your motivation, or maybe that sensation of bliss. And consider if you'd like to dedicate this practice to someone in your life or someone maybe you don't even know. Press yourself up to a seat. And here we will close our practice as we began with a chant of Om. If you would like to chant, feel free. If you would prefer not to, also feel free. The hands find their home together at your heart. Exhale all the air from your lungs. Take a long, full belly breath in. Thumb knuckles connect with the third eye center, right at the center of your forehead. May all beings live with ease. May they find their bliss. May they share compassion. We bow together, honoring the light in one another. Namaste. Thank you to you individually and collectively. Heartfelt thanks. I hope you have a really wonderful remainder of your day or evening. I am Karen, coming to you from Salt and Sand Studios, saltandSandstudios.com. We're here live on YouTube most Saturdays at 10 o'clock for the winter season. And also have classes on Friday night live in studio and on Sunday mornings, except this week. We do not have Sunday, given the snow. Enjoy yourselves. Thank you.